Novel Transcript of the Pessary by Juliet M. Nevins, M.D. Deborah Little. Deborah Little was afraid. As she walked towards her church, a gentle September breeze insisted on pushing ragweed into her nose and eyes. She sneezed and coughed constantly, activities that made her cervix push beyond her vagina and rub against her underwear. It had been happening for 6 months. She was afraid. She had told no one. In her life, she had not had many friends. She had walked this earth alone for a long time, even as a child, a state of being to which Deborah Little never became accustomed. At 79 years old, Deborah Little was still missing her mother. This was indeed a strange yearning because Deborah had never known her mother. She did not have in her possession a photograph or even a memory of her scent. It had always been her secret desire to ask about her mother, to have someone describe the color of her eyes or give some clue as to whether she was tall or short. She still wondered about her mother's name. In her presence, her mother had always been referred to as Umada. In 1941, in Jamaica, these kinds of questions might be considered rude and out of order. Once at the age of 10, while she attended to the red snapper in the frying pan, she heard the distinct voice of her father as he mused over the erratic nature of life. "The gal was so pretty, and man just don't understand how she can just up and dead so young." With this, he shook his head and sucked his teeth. Deborah Little was careful not to burn the red snapper. She did not want to be discovered and accused of minding big people business, as was customary when children revealed their curiosity about the world. Her father went on to divulge more information, and through trickery, she found out that her mother died when Deborah was 2 in 1933, somewhere in the country, in the part of the island often referred to as the North Side. Deborah tried to force her mind to remember her beloved mother. She wished she had a picture. She knew without a doubt that her mother would have shown her how to press her hair straight. She wouldn't have been beaten mercilessly and left with a scar on her right shoulder for putting bloody underwear next to her father's shirts. Her mother would have told her that it was normal for girls to menstruate and that it did not signal disease or the encroachment of death. Her mother would not have summoned her by the name Red Gal, a term used to describe light-skinned black people. Her mother would have called her darling, or love, or sweetheart. Miss Merla, the woman who raised Deborah, treated her biological daughter with a level of kindness to which Deborah was never privy. "Deborah, wash de clothes and clean dem toilets. Me have fi go send Janice fi go do her hair." Somehow, Miss Merla always made sure that Janice was well groomed. It was all she could do to make up for the fact that her daughter was a hideous, overweight creature. Miss Merla would sit and talk to her daughter for hours, teaching her the things she needed to know about her body and the world. Deborah Little would watch longingly, wishing she could have more than fleeting empathy and fragments of authentic love. The two girls lived in the same house, but never as sisters. Despite her broad nose and crooked teeth, Janice found love and now lived in Florida with her husband of 30 years. She managed to raise 3 children without killing any of them. Once again, decades later, Deborah found herself without an explanation of what was coming out of her vagina. She felt the absence of her mother intensely.